everybody, I'm Dusk. Welcome to Realm of the Sacred Roots. I wanted to talk really quickly today about being empathic. Being an empath basically means you feel other people's emotions as your own. For example, if someone's very angry, well, you might feel that anger yourself, even though you have no direct reason to feel that way. It can also be someone else's physical pain. If you're around somebody who might have pain in their knee or their ankle or their back, you might actually feel that pain within your own body. Sometimes, as empaths, we have to shield ourselves when we're out among other people and or if we're in large crowds because we tend to take on other people's emotions as our own, even their physical pain. Sometimes, if you're a very sensitive empath, you can even be overwhelmed when you're in a crowd. It's just too much, it's too many people, and it's overwhelming. You just need to get out of there and go home. So, usually, that's what happens um, when you're empathic. Empaths also have the ability to scan another person's energy, basically being able to tell their thoughts, feelings, and even their past, present, or future life occurrences. All of this happens and can happen if you're an empath. I wanted to quickly just tell you a couple of stories that happened to me, and I didn't know what it was until somebody told me it was because I was an empath. And I knew about the things as far as emotions, feeling other people's emotions and pain. What I didn't know was what happened in the next two quick stories I'm going to tell you could happen if you're empathic. One day I was in an antique store and I was at the counter waiting to have something rung up. And there was this older gentleman in front of me, and he was extremely charming. And when I say older, he was probably in his 80s, but he looked really handsome, he was dressed well, and he was just charming. He had the cashier laughing and me laughing, and he was just telling jokes, and just what a great guy, I thought. And I felt this connection with him for some reason. I wasn't sure why, but I knew he was well to do. I knew he was wealthy. And for a second, in my mind's eye, I could see a vision of his house. And I even could see inside the house and saw that he was living on the water. So I knew this was a man of wealth, and I felt like I knew him. Uh, in some certain way, but it was a little confusing because I didn't know the man. But again, he was telling jokes and charming, and I really liked this guy. So he ended up getting his item rung up and he left the store. He ended up getting into, it was parked right in front of the store, really nice Cadillac. So I asked the cashier, he said, does is that his first time in here, or have you seen him before? She goes, oh no, he comes in here all the time. He's just really charming and has a great personality. I said, well, I just really like this guy. And I almost felt as if I should have given him my number. Like I almost felt this a strong attraction to this guy. And it was the weirdest thing. So I said, Well, anyways, I had my item rung up and I walked out the store, and there was a bench outside of the store. And there was a row of a couple of young kids sitting there. And then who I assume the father was at the very end. And I saw this little boy sitting there, and I had an automatic like I knew him type of feeling, almost a motherly type love for this boy sitting there. And I didn't understand why I felt like I had such a connection with him. I was concerned for his well-being. I felt like I knew him. Anyways, as I was walking on, I just had to say something to the father. um, and I think I mentioned something like, "Oh, are you guys just waiting kind of for the missus to finish up shopping inside the store?" Just like like a lot of guys do when they're in the mall and the wives are shopping and they're just sitting out waiting for their girlfriends or wives to finish shopping. And so that's what I assumed this family was doing, just waiting for the mom to finish shopping. And he kind of answered me as a, no, 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 we're not waiting on anyone. We're going to go in a minute. And the way he said it, I almost felt like there was a loss there, as if, no, there's no one in there that we're waiting for. It's kind of just us guys. We're going to head inside in a minute. I don't know if he was smoking or whatever the father was doing. And then they were going to head in a minute. And it wasn't until later, after I talked to a friend of mine who basically had to explain to me that that was your empathic, that those were your gifts as an empath, basically picking up on the first gentleman, the wife who had passed away. It almost felt so strong as if I were channeling her. And I know that's probably not the correct word, but that it was almost a blend of being an empath and channeling. That's how strong the emotion felt, almost as if the spirit merged with me. But I don't think it was an actual channel. It was just me picking up so strongly that energy that the wife that was with this gentleman, and I just picked up on her energy so strongly that I could see all of these things. I felt the love that she felt for this man. She must have been married to him, I'm guessing, for quite a long time. I felt that love that she had for the man. I saw the house they lived in and the vehicle they rode around in. And so it was almost as if I were her for a minute, seeing through her eyes her husband and the emotions that were attached to that. That's how strong that was. And then again, walking outside, I almost felt like when I saw the little boy sitting there, that I felt the mother who I believe had passed away, and I felt that love for her son, her youngest son that she had, the concern she had for the son, again, connecting to the deceased or disincarnate, that were still the energy that was still with these people. I felt like I tapped into that and picked up on the emotions of the deceased for their loved ones that were still living. And so all of that, we use multiple tools, and when we're whether we're psychic or we pick up on, using our different senses. But in this case, this, I believe, was all just being an empath. And I don't usually hear of stories where I feel like as strong as I picked up on, which I obviously know that other people experience this. I just don't hear of those stories as often. So I just wanted to encourage you and mention to you that if you're an empath, you can take it even further. Most of you probably already do pick up on energy, not just of the living, energy from the living, but also energy from those that have passed on and that are deceased. And just encourage you to press on and to push your gifts even further. If you don't, that you too can also pick up on energy, feeling other people, even if they're no longer here, their emotions, and maybe be a blessing to someone else somehow. So I just wanted to share those two stories with you, encourage you, if you are empathic, that you can actually stretch your gift a little further if you're not already doing those things. Please like and subscribe if you like this video, and that way you'll get more videos as soon as I produce them. Then you'll have them right there on your list. Thanks again for watching. See you next video.